Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN. I'm joined by Roland Lesterlin, the game director on Just Cause 3, the game we're playing right here. Good to see you, Roland.
Good to see you too.
So, don't mind us. We're just gonna cause all sorts of. We're just gonna show off Just Cause. I mean, the whole point of the game. Well, not a whole point of the game is to just mess around, have fun, and cause destruction.
I think your first statement's still accurate.
Okay, I don't want to speak for you.
I
don't want to confuse my interpretation with what your interpretation as the creator of the game might be. But in any case, so yeah, if people don't want to listen to you and I jabber on, they can at least just mute us and watch some fun stuff happen in the game. So I just kind of wanted to talk to you for a few minutes here about the game. I mean, I'm going to inevitably react to what's going on screen, but
it's hard not to stare when the game's just going on, and it's an explosive, crazy game where all you're doing is having as much fun as possible and doing all the crazy things that you can dream of.
Yeah.
And what's kind of fun about how we've built the game and what we've tried to do is we really built the game first and foremost on systems. So how each system interacts with another system, like grappling. So we know we can dual tether any two things together in the world, and Just Cause 2 kind of proved how much fun that was. We added in the ability to control the strength of that tether, which means that's now analog strength.
yeah.
Now, having one tether in the world is cool. We found having more tethers in the world is cooler. So right now you can see we can have up to 6 tethers in the world at the same time. You start combining that together and you start thinking, okay, well, that is one system. We need to make sure that system works while in parachute, while in wingsuit, while reeling. And as each one works seamlessly with every other system, that's when the inventiveness starts going on. That's when does it work to, grapple two things together and then hang from the bottom of a helicopter and then grapple something to the bottom of the helicopter? Yeah, you can do that. I can grapple a person to the side of a wall and put a planted explosive on them and then use them as a person bomb. You can kind of do anything you want. And one of the things we always talked about very early on was the idea of a game that's very vertical. And we wanted to be able to give the player the ability to move seamlessly in that world. So a helicopter normally is something that you want to run from.
Yeah.
But in Just Cause, the helicopter is an opportunity to have a platform to grapple to. You can steal it. You got to be careful because SAM sites will want to take it out, and we kind of make a nice bright light so you know it's coming in. But you can also use it as a bomb itself because you can plant an explosive on it. So you see a helicopter, it becomes an opportunity to change your combat. Or that SAM site, you can destroy the SAM site, but you can also reprogram it, turn it into an ally, and now when they call in helicopter reinforcements, it will now be a part of your system for shooting it out of the sky.
So let's talk about the game a little bit. Tell me if my characterization is fair here. To me, Just Cause 3 reminds me a lot of Saints Row 3 in the sense that, to me, Saints Row the Third kind of felt like the game where Volition kind of, everything clicked for them, like, oh, this is what this series is supposed to be. And to me, that's, in my experience with Just Cause 3 so far, I get the same vibe of, well, Just Cause was an idea that worked, and then Just Cause 2 really pushed it out sort of a little more extreme and a little crazier. But to me, Just Cause 3 feels like that we know what we want to do with, we know what this game is now. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and we also had the fan base. I mean, so many people were vocal about Just Cause 2. I think a lot of people didn't quite get in the beginning what Just Cause was about. It took some time to get your mind around the idea of why is a grapple hook this much fun. And once it's in your hands and you're like, wait a second, this is, yes, it's an open world. Yes, it's a place that you can go anywhere, but it's actually more of a sandbox. It is that quintessential, just joyful sandbox. And I think you're right, Volition did a great job at doing that as well. And they kind of knew what they had once they got to their third game too. And here we had a huge fan base that was sitting there saying, hey, we love the grapple hook, we love the parachute, we love the destruction, we love the craziness of the game. Give us more of that. And so when we started out, we were like, don't break the stuff that's great.
Right.
Like, let's do that well. and then let's add to that. Let's do more destruction. Let's do more with the grapple hook than we had before.
What?
Let's get in more grapple hooks. Let's get in the movement. Let's get in a wingsuit. Let's put crazier weapons in there. Let's put it in a backdrop of this beautiful Mediterranean world that, you know, I've actually been surprised. There's no open worlds really that have done the Mediterranean before.
That's true.
Allow you to go and play in a place that's full of cliffs. And one of the reasons is it's full of cliffs. So it's hard to navigate around.
True.
So you actually need a character that is able to move up a giant cliffside, move anywhere you want him to go at any point.
Okay, so now let's go screw around in another part of the world, and we'll just keep talking because I am totally fascinated by this, and I want to know more about the development insights here. I mean, you were telling me earlier, and I would love to get it on record here, about how with the design of this game in particular, of Just Cause 3, that the fun and the sandboxness is always sort of prioritized, in the sense of the example you were giving me is, you know, the AI actually is smart, but you were saying like you tone them down sometimes on purpose in order to make the game more fun. And then the cool example you gave me is how you'll occasionally program some of them to be dumb on purpose, in the sense of if you blow up a bridge, you know, some of the guys might stop and go, oh, okay, let's not go off that bridge, but one guy might just keep going in order for, you know, to have the comic effect of plummeting off the bridge.
I mean, you need some plummeting off of bridges. That's kind of part of the joy of it. And, you know, we wanted to make sure that when you were playing the game, if you make AI super smart so they always know where you are, always can hit you wherever you are, there's sort of a feeling of, you know, is this fair?
What's happening? Oh no.
And so we wanted to make sure that, you know, while we were destroying bridges and you break basically the route that the AI can bring,
yeah,
that every once in a while one of them won't stop. Because it's hilarious to see someone drive off of a bridge and plummet to their explosive
I regret nothing.
death. Exactly. And we have quite a lot of humor, like even when you see a civilian and you hijack their car, there's sort of a dissonance there, right? Because Rico is a good guy.
Yeah, of course.
He is kind of good. And he frees people with destruction, which is kind of weird. So when you steal someone's car, sometimes they'll be like, hey, it sticks in second, or anything for the revolution. So you kind of get the sense of like, okay, the world is okay that you are throwing people out of their hard-earned vehicle.
So I don't want to let this video go by with people thinking that this is purely a game about, like almost a Seinfeldian game about nothing, about just blowing things up. There is a story. Like you guys haven't really shown it off much, no. But there is a story. There is a narrative here to be gone through.
There's a full narrative about this world, about Rico coming back home to the place he grew up. And what's really fun about telling a narrative like that is, you know, as anybody knows, that friends that we had when we were 12 mess with us the same way
of course.
They do when they're 12. Like, yeah. You know, you're big. Ryan's hanging out on IGN, and you're like, all right, I'm a famous person now. And then your 12-year-old friend is like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
I'm still going to mess with you in the same way. So Rico gets to come back, and it's Rico, right? He's like, I'm a huge, basically, action star for the agency, and I can go and take down dictators myself. But now he can run into his friends that he grew up with. And part of it, there is a backdrop to it, because Rico left this country so many years ago, before Pinal, before San Escrito, before his time joining the agency, and he came, he had to leave this place because his parents were killed on the night of the coup that this dictator, when the dictator took over.
Yeah.
And so that turns it around. Now he has learned all the amazing tool sets to become the ultimate action hero who he can take down dictators himself. And now he can come home and finally do it against the person who kind of started it all for him.
Is it fair? Is this the end of a particular narrative trilogy, or are we?
So we wanted to treat the story a lot like how Spielberg treats Indiana Jones. You know, it's kind of that realistic character in a ridiculous situation. And so we wanted our world to feel like that. So even our storyline really feels like that too. And we hope we've brought humor to it, because this is a game you can grapple people to walls.
Yeah.
And so the story needs to do that as well.
So I think it's fair to say that Just Cause 3, it has the tone of, I mean, it's literally a sunny game. It's not a dark, gritty game. It's even the plot tone reflects sort of the vibrant colors, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the wish is, you know, you have like a hard day one day, and you want to come home and you want to play a game.
Yeah.
Quintessentially, you want to just have some fun, and
let off some steam.
Let off some steam, and this is the game. You throw it in, and you know, it's beautiful. It's this amazing, beautiful world to go explore, and with tons of explosions, and you can just unwind and race a car along the Italian-inspired countryside if you want, or blow stuff up, or wingsuit, or do whatever you want. It's kind of like that feeling that, you know, how the Corona ads make you feel like you're on vacation. You know, it's that feeling of being on vacation and of being a 12-year-old and just having fun.
Good stuff. Well, Roland, thank you so much. We will look forward to Just Cause 3 in December. And for much more on Just Cause 3 between now and that time, keep it tuned right here to IGN.